Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, is there a Dr. IPA in the house? A Dr. IPA? Anybody? DRIPA is a 9.5% Double Rice IPA from Kuhnhenn Brewing Company in Warren, Michigan. DRIPA is one of those beers that I've heard about for so long. When I was just a young craft beer enthusiast, my friend Mark used to talk about this beer in hallowed terms. It was a favorite of his, and I've been meaning to hit up Kuhnhenn for a long time to try this. Now, it's been bottled on and off for a while, and now it's showing up on shelves and cans. And that's how I'm going to bring it to you here today. So I was able to try Blueberry DRIPA at last year's Summer Beer Fest, and I was really impressed with it, so I'm really looking forward to trying this today. But first, let's take a look at the label, and then we'll get it in the glass, we'll get it to pouring. Fun fact, there are 40,000 different varieties of rice, but only 10% are marketed and sold. So I'm going to grab my IPA glass here. And we're going to take a look at this. It's a green label, very green. It kind of looks like a wood grain. It says across the top, there's a lot of stuff going on with this can. It says beers with distinct personalities, and these cans have some distinct personalities too. Kuhnhenn Brewing Company DRIPA, Double Rice India Pale Ale. 9.5% alcohol by volume, 12 fluid ounces. And then on the side here, it has the World Beer Cup 2012 Gold Award that they won. It says, this ale was brewed and canned by Kuhnhenn Brewing Company. It says Detroit, Michigan. And on the back, it says Double Rice India Pale Ale DRIPA, made with American long grain rice and Pilsner malt. This ale is golden color and has an assertive dry hop aroma with lots of hops in the finish. Serve at 38 to 42 degrees Fahrenheit, or 3 to 6 Celsius. It has that. And again, beers with distinction and the government warning. So I think this is the first time, I really appreciate this. This is the first time I think I've ever seen a temperature rating on the back of a can for an IPA. Sometimes you see it, you'll see it on some stouts and sometimes porters or darker beers, but not usually IPAs. So, is there a can on date? This was canned on December 3rd, 2018, which at this point was it's about a month ago. About a month and almost 2 months ago, actually. So this is probably getting really close to the edge of freshness, but I started seeing this hit shelves in boxes. I think they were 6-packs. I think they were 6-packs all over the place. So I was kind of, like I said, kind of impressed and kind of surprised and kind of glad to see that it had finally hit shelves. So we're going to crack this open and get a nose out of the can here. It's got a very kind of, I don't know. It's got a hoppy aroma. Definitely got a piney hoppiness. In the back end, there's a smell that I'm not really familiar with, but it's kind of pressing through a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and pour this one. So it's coming really golden yellow out of the can. It's a really nice gold color. It is a nice head, about 2 fingers. Like I said, if you've seen any of my videos, I pour, usually can get a pretty good head out of this glass. It's very yellow on the outside, kind of clearish on the bottom here. Holding it up to the light, it's not super clear. It's not totally clear. There is a little bit of a haze to it, not much though, but it has a nice stream of carbonation coming up from the top. The head's a really nice white head, really like bright white. And again, it's got this yellow kind of tint to it. A lot of really small bubbles. It's got the head just kind of hanging around pretty good. I've been practicing my pouring, so the head retention's been a little bit better. So let's get a better nose out of the glass here. Yeah, getting a real kind of, actually, thought I was getting a piney kind of scent, but I'm getting more of a citrusy, more of a citrus kind of scent out of it here, out of the glass. Maybe I was kind of confusing it. It was really kind of in between, but now it's got a kind of a sweet kind of scent to it and really citrusy. I'm just ready to dive in. I've been kind of hearing so much about this for so long, so cheers. Wow. It's got this really kind of mingling of really sweet citrus, but at the same time, a citrus hoppiness as well. You can tell that it's kind of a rice IPA or rice beer because it's a little bit thinner. The The mouthfeel is a little bit on the thin side, and it has a little bit of that kind of ricey taste, like if you have a traditional rice beer like a Sapporo or a Kirin or something like that, a Qingdao, something like that, like a Asian kind of beer. Usually traditional kind of rice beers have that taste to it. So it has a little bit of that. It's got a lot of, again, sweet. It's really like malty. It's got a nice malty taste to it, but it's got this sweetness to it, the citrus sweetness at the same time, and this citrus hoppiness at the same time as well. It's really very smooth until the finish. And on the finish, it has this kind of like a boozy, bitter bite to it. It's got that kind of zesty, kind of orange or lemon peel kind of zest to it on the tail end. But that also kicks up. It's probably that 9.5% also kind of kicks that up a little bit. It's not overly boozy, but I feel like in my mouth, the kind of the aftertaste is really holding on to this this boozy kind of quality, and I think it's adding to the bitterness. Let's get one more taste. Yeah, this is really, I can tell that with this being around so long, I could tell why, you know, a lot of people really had, you know, lost their minds over this, because at the time, I'm sure a few years ago, this is really bucking ahead of the trend, you know, kind of bucking the trend, not so bitter on the West Coast style IPA. It has a bitterness to it. It has that citrus bitterness to it, but it also has this really overwhelming, not overwhelming, but this overlying sweetness and this maltiness, which I really like. I really love maltiness in IPAs. So it's got like this total package to it. And yeah, at the time I could see it being really, really innovative, because there weren't a lot of beers. It's almost embracing like a New England style to almost to an extent, but not as juicy, not as hazy, and not as overly sweet or really thick. It's got a nice thinner kind of mouthfeel, lighter mouthfeel. But yeah, this is one of those beers where I kind of kick myself, because I wish I would have tried it years ago when I'd heard about it, and when, you know, when everybody told me about how great it is. It's still a really good beer. I'm just not kicking myself that I didn't get to try it. Not only that I didn't get to try it and that it's not good, it's a great beer. I'm kicking myself because I wish I would have known about it sooner or tried it sooner. And I'm also a little disappointed in myself that I didn't try it sooner, because I wasn't expecting something to have this much taste out of a rice beer. So all right, friends, that has been DRIPA from Kuhnhenn Brewing Company. If you get a chance to check out their tap room, let them know you saw their beer right here. Are you a newcomer to DRIPA, or are you OG? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you're a fan of Michigan beer, I'm here talking Michigan beer every Tuesday and Thursday. And the best part is, it's absolutely free to viewers just like you. You can also find links to my social media, some merch, a custom Tiku glass, all that good stuff, links to all the gear I use on these videos, and a link to my blog at drafttherapy.com in the description below this video. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by, and remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries wherever they are, and most importantly, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching. Cheers.